This, my friends, give it a second. It's still opening. There you go. This is the Web of Sesame style post LI, which is LinkedIn. It's an internal tool that I've built for my team, which we use to write all the LinkedIn content for my LinkedIn. I have about 500,000 followers on my LinkedIn. Most of the content on my LinkedIn is written using this tool. And the crazy part about this tool, the reason what makes it an advanced tool is the fact that this tool doesn't only write content for me on any topic that I give, but actually replicates the style of my writing. So it is so bloody good that even I can't say if the post was written by me or by AI. It replicates the style of my writing to the T. And that is what you should do, you will be able to do if you learn how to build advanced GPTs. Am I making sense? This tool can't only write LinkedIn content, but can actually write LinkedIn content in exactly my own style. Now, you'll be wondering, how is that happening? Well, let me go to the back end of the tool and show you the prompt. Go to configure. Look at the prompt, guys. It has something called as role. It has something, these fancy characters of stars and hashtags. It has something called as objective. It has something called as context. And look how long the prompt is. I'm scrolling, it's going. I'm scrolling, it's going. I'm scrolling, it's going. This is the reason. This prompt is the reason why the tool works the way it does. Now, how many of you want to learn how to build advanced GPTs like this? Drop a me in the chat if that is you. If you would like to learn how to build advanced GPTs like this, if you would like to learn how to write crazy prompts like this, which will in turn allow you to write crazy advanced GPTs. Yes? All right. Let us do that right now. Now, before I go ahead and teach you how to write the prompt, I want to introduce you to something very interesting. And that is a new prompting framework. It's called as Markdown prompting. Guys, just focus your next 30 minutes very, very well. If you're able to focus the next 30 to 40 minutes really well, the way you use AI will fundamentally change, and I promise that. Okay, so be in full attention for the next 45 minutes, because this is one of the most powerful things that you'll ever learn about AI. And this could fundamentally change how you use AI forever, right? Introducing the Markdown prompting. This is an incredibly powerful prompting framework, which is majorly used to build custom AI agents and bots. This framework is majorly used to build custom AI agents and bots. So you can see the structure of the prompt. It has role, objective, context, instructions, and notes. It is very similar to Magic Prompt Formula, but it's a little more advanced. And I'll tell you what the difference is very, very soon. And you see there are these fancy hashtags and stars here as well. I'll explain you what that is. It might look very technical because of those characters, but it is not. I will explain you, and I guarantee you all of you guys will understand this very easily. Okay. Now, okay, sorry about that. Something ended up playing in the background for me because I hit some button, but ignore that. Okay. So here we are. Here we are. This is Markdown prompting, guys. It has role, objective, context, instructions, and finally notes as well. Now, what is this prompt about? Before I get to these hashtags and stars, I want to explain you what role, objective, context, instructions, and notes are. A few of these things could be a slight repeat, considering you have learned the magic prompt formula again, but use this as a time for you to refresh your minds. Okay. What is role? Role is where you define what you want AI to behave like. You see, AI is this super smart thing which understands so many things in the world. It is so bloody good with so many things, right? But in the role, you define AI that, hey, I don't want you to think like a person who understands everything. I want you to think like a person who is an expert in one thing. And that one thing is a task that I'm trying to do. Let's say I'm trying to build a prompt for AI to be able to, create, how do I put it? To be able to handle customer success for me. Okay, that is the AI that I'm trying to build. So in the role, I'm going to describe AI in form of you are an expert customer success executive.
Careful.
You have worked for top brands like Google, Netflix, Amazon, I don't know, Geo Hotstar, Uber, and a bunch of other consumer brands. You are very, very good with customer success and you have more than 10 years of experience. So the moment I say the role like this, I say you're an expert customer success executive, you have 10 years of experience, and you have worked for companies like Google, Netflix, Microsoft, Uber, then AI starts to think about what does a customer success executive do? What does an expert customer success executive do? How does someone with 10 years something better to do? So the person doesn't understand the power of the role. As a result, the kid that I've hired is like, why should I do what you're asking me to do? It doesn't make sense. So it's my job as a founder to give this kid the context, explain the kid why what he's doing is important. So here I'll go on to explain, look, it's a very important job. That's exactly why I gave you. You see, your job has a direct correlation to the growth of the company. So if you do your job well, the company will grow faster. Let me explain you how. You see, millions of people every single month join Outskill programs. And when they join the programs, right? And if they have a doubt, if they have a problem, if they get stuck somewhere, they write to hire@outskill.com. Your job is to sit on the top of that and make sure every single problem of people is solved. Because if you're solving the problem really well, then the learner goes happy, attends our programs. Our programs are incredibly powerful any which ways, and the person will like the program. As a result, the person will talk about Outskill to a lot of their friends. As a result, more people will join the program, right? This is what will happen if you do your job well. But for whatever reason, if you don't do your job well, not many people will attend, not many people will talk about our programs. As a result, our business will not grow as fast as it should. So it is one of the most important jobs that you can do. And that is exactly why I assigned it to you. Because this is not a job where you're replying to emails. This is a job where you're helping the company grow faster. Guys, don't you think if I give this context to anyone on why their job is important, why they're doing what they're doing, they will be able to do their job better? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with it. If I'm able to give them context on why what is important, the person will be able to do their job better because it's important. Everybody works for a purpose. The same thing actually works in AI as well. When you tell AI why what it is doing is important, AI will be able to do the job much, much better. And that is where we add context. We tell AI the context. We tell AI what is the importance of what it is doing or what is the task that is assigned. That is context. Next comes instructions. Instructions is pretty simple. Step 1, open email. Step 2, reply to email. Step 3, find the answer. Whatever instructions you have, you can put them one step at a time. And that is instructions, quite pretty straightforward. And finally comes notes. What is notes? Notes is where we kind of quickly summarize things that we are not sure of. So let's say there are a few things on the top that we are not sure of, that we could not capture anywhere in role, objective, context, or instructions. That is what we place in notes so that all the important information is captured and nothing is getting missed out. It's like a quick summary. That's all notes are. So that is what is role, objective, context, instructions, and notes. Now that you've understood this, now let's get to something that a lot of people might be very curious on. What the hell are these hashtags and stars? Well, the hashtags and stars are actually quite cool. This is the way we communicate AI, what is important and what is not. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say you saw this slide for the first time. Is it fair to assume that you read this line of text or markdown prompting first? Automatically your eyes went to one of these two things. Why did that happen? The reason why your eyes went to one of these two things is purely because your brain is tuned in a way that it understands every time the size of the text is large. You know by default it is important. Well, that is how our brain works. As a result, I was just able to increase the size of the font or make it bold. But with AI, how the hell do I do that? For example, this is a prompt that we wrote, right? Let's say I want this point to be very important and I want this to be bolded. Is there a way to do it? This is a plain text editor. There's no way to bold anything. I cannot right click and make it bold. It's not like a Microsoft Word because AI doesn't have control on rich text. AI can only work if it is plain text. So we use our own ways to tell AI what is important. For example, let's say this 10 tweet options is important. I can quickly add 2 stars here and 2 stars here. As a result, you know what will happen when I do this? AI will automatically see this line of text between the 2 stars on both the sides as bold. AI will imagine this word to be in bold. It imagines, it will look at it like it is in bold. So this is our coded way to tell AI that this is important. Let's say each tweet must be this column. Let's say this has to be a headline. I don't know how to increase the font of this. So what I can do, if I just add a hashtag in front of it, AI imagines this line to be written in a large font. Let's say if I add 2 hashtags, then AI imagines this line to be a headline or written in large font, but smaller than 1 hashtag. So 1 hashtag is the biggest font possible. 2 hashtags is the next big. 3 hashtags is the third big. And whenever I put a word between 2 asterisks or 2 stars, AI imagines that word to be in bold. This, my friends, is a way to tell AI what is important and what is not. And that is what exactly is Markdown prompting. Let me show you this. So this will give you clarity. Check this out. This, my friends, is why we use hashtags and stars. When I put 1 hashtag and write anything next to it, till the line kind of breaks, AI imagines that to be a headline 1. When I put 2 hashtags, AI imagines that line to be headline 2. You see how it is smaller than headline 1, but still a big text. When I put 3 hashtags, AI imagines that to be headline 3. And when I put it between 2 stars and put a word in between, AI imagines that to be in bold. And guys, that is what is markdown prompting. If you think this is insane, drop a mind blown emoji, the mouth, open mouth emoji. If you think this is insane, this is a secret language on how you talk to AI. You get my point? So you can use these hashtags and stars to kind of talk to AI and tell AI what is important and what is not. And that is how the markdown prompting is written. And if you see this prompt that I've written, right, for Webhub Systems LinkedIn style content, the prompt that you see right here is completely written in markdown prompting. Now that we learned the structure, I know a lot of you people will be like, Webhub, how do we go about writing a prompt? Can you teach us? Well, don't worry about it because I'm going to show you a couple of examples so that even if you could not understand 100% of the prompting structure, as we do the examples, you will be able to get full sense of it on how you can write your own prompts. Give me the next 30 minutes and I guarantee you, if you give me your next 30 minutes with full attention, I will guarantee you that each and every one of you will be able to write a chat. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's get started. So the example that I want to play with, instead of doing something else, right? How about, it's been a while since I've edited this prompt. You can see I did this back in Jan 29, 2025. So it's a very old prompt that I had written. How about we update this? How about I show you how I could basically update it? All right. And that is exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to write a prompt with which we can rebuild Web of Cincinnati style post for LinkedIn. And you can also learn in this process how you can create a LinkedIn post writer, email post writer, Twitter writer, any writer that you want, which replicates your own style of writing. Right. And that is what we're going to do right now as an example. And the reason why I picked this example also is that because I truly believe that this use case is actually not an intermediate use case either. This is actually quite an advanced use case, right? If you're able to understand this really well, you will be able to understand literally anything and everything you want. Because for you to be able to write a prompt like this, You need to
नाम
learn a very important concept,
रिपोर्ट ऐसी बनाना भाई,
and that
अटेंटिव
is
उसमें कर देना,
thinking with AI.
है ना?
If you guys are wondering that I wrote this whole prompt all by myself using my hands, that is not true. I got your favorite chat GPT to write the whole prompt for me. Yes. But you know what? It's not that simple. I follow a process of thinking with AI. And that is what I'm going to teach you today so that you can use the same framework to solve literally any problem you want and build any kind of prompts going forward without you writing a single line. So buckle up and get ready for some madness. So how do I go about writing a prompt like this? First of all, what is the task? The task is that I need to write a prompt which can write LinkedIn content exactly in my own style. So it has to write LinkedIn posts and also has to replicate my style of writing. There are two problems to solve in one. Now, let's solve problem number one. And that is, it has to write like me. Now, if it has to write like me, how would it know how I write my LinkedIn content? It needs to know how I write my LinkedIn content, right? Well, this is how I go about it. Step number one, let's first write a prompt which will allow us to write viral LinkedIn content. Now, I told you we will get AI to write everything, right? So here is what I will do. Okay. First job is for me to explain AI how I write. And when I think about explaining AI how I write, I can only imagine things like I write in simple English, I write in simple words, I write like I speak, and stuff like this, which is very, very vague. AI will not be able to understand anything. As a result, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give AI, this is problem solving 101, guys. I'm going to tell AI that, hey, you tell me how I write. I'm not going to tell it how I write. I'm going to ask AI to tell me how I write. You'll be like, how will AI know how I write? Well, you know what? I'm going to give a bunch of content that I have written in the past. I'm going to give it all to AI and I'll be like, look, this is how I write. Go through it and you tell me how I write. That way, AI is very smart. AI will be able to go deep into it, figure out the nuance of it, and will be able to come back to me with a super extensive report. Let me show you the example. I'm going to prompt something like this to start with. You are an expert content analyzer. You have done, ghostwriting for a lot of top people on LinkedIn. And the charm of your ghostwriting is that you write like the speaker exactly. What I want you to do today is that I want you to use all the knowledge that you have to basically break down the style of my writing. You see, I want you to give me a content DNA report of my style of writing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give 10 posts that I have written in the past. These posts have all gone viral on LinkedIn. So your job is to go through all the 10 posts that I've written in the past, understand how I write my hook, how I write my body, how I write my call to action, the kind of words I use, how I frame my sentences, how I structure my paragraphs, everything about my writing. It should be so bloody deep that even you need to tell me insights, even that I don't know about my own writing. And also, like I told you, all the content that I'm going to share with you are pieces that have gone viral in the past. So your job is to also decipher why these posts have gone viral and how do we replicate that going forward. So build me this super extensive content DNA framework or content DNA report based on how I write my content and why my content goes viral on LinkedIn. Did you understand? Explain me what you understood. There you go. I've explained everything that I want. And I end the prompt with this. Look at this. Did you understand? Explain to me what you understood. I didn't say execute the task. I want AI to tell me what it understood. And it says, yes, got it. Here's what I understood in simple terms. You're going to give me 10 of your LinkedIn posts that have already gone viral. My job is not just to summarize them, reverse engineer them. Specifically, it will do all this good stuff. The end goal is if someone reads the report, they should be able to write like you and get similar results. So it understood everything what I want. It's like, send me the 10 posts. I will go deep. So instead of telling AI how I write, I'm asking AI to tell me how I write. Right? Of course, you can turn on the thinking model if you can. That would be very cool. In fact, if you have the paid version, you can increase the level of thinking as well. But if you have the free account, you can just keep the thinking mode on. And I can just say, here are the LinkedIn posts of mine. And I just paste it. By the way, I copy pasted 10 of my LinkedIn posts. You should copy paste or you should take screenshots of them at least, and you can upload them right here. I did that some time back so you can save time. And there you go. I've sent all the LinkedIn posts, and look at this. AI is thinking. It's like I went through all of them. It is seeing 9 out of 10 messages. And here it comes. This means it's going to do all of this. And it's basically telling me what it will do right now. And it's basically asking me, you just gave me 9 posts instead of 10, right? You said you will share 10 posts, but I currently see only 9 in the message. I'm going to be like, work with the 9 posts only and give me the report. I'm just going to be like, I have only 9 posts, work with the 9 posts only and give me the report. And here it comes. WebHub Content DNA report. Guys, this is AI going through all your content and it's telling me how I write my content. How insane is this? The big picture, what your writing actually is. My writing style is breaking news business commentary written in simple, high energy language for mass market professionals. I don't write like a journalist. I don't write like a founder. I don't write like a consultant. I write like a smart operator who spots major shifts, explains it simply, and frames it boldly enough for people to feel what they must have an opinion on. This is my style of writing. My strongest writing strengths, all of them are written here. You are extremely good at bold framing. I frame things very boldly. Look at that, right? Your hook DNA, how I write my hook, and has categorized all my hooks into multiple categories and buckets as well. Why my hook works is also it's explaining hidden insight about my just hooks. My body structure DNA, how I write my body, the explanation of that. Your paragraphs are built for skimming. You rely heavily on list-based clarity. Your sentence style DNA, how I frame my sentences, is right here. Your language DNA, how I use my language, the kind of words that I use. Look at this. How beautiful is this? Hidden insight about your word choice. You often use emotionally charged business vocabulary. Your tone DNA, this is my tone. My CTA DNA, the virality triggers. What makes your content feel like you? Guys, how insane is this? Do you think it is even remotely possible to be able to write something like this about your own writing? Do you think you can write such a deep report about your own writing? It's absolutely wild. This is a report that we got from AI telling us how we write our content. And I don't even have the patience to read the whole thing. Look how long it is. It is still going on. This is what I mean by getting AI to work for you guys. I know what I want to do, but I'm using AI to do the same work for me. Look at the report. It has 24 pointers. How insane is this? Now that I have the whole report, my content DNA report, I can just go to ChatGPT and I can convert this right now into a prompt. I'll just open ChatGPT and I'm going to be like, you are an expert prompt engineer who has been writing prompts for the last 5 years for Gemini, for ChatGPT GPTs, right? For GPTs inside of custom GPTs inside of ChatGPT. Your job is to write a super extensive prompt for a GPT, which is called as the LinkedIn viral LinkedIn post writer. But the difference about this viral LinkedIn post writer is that every time I give you a topic, you will come up with a LinkedIn post for me, which has very high odds of going viral. But that is not the most important part of it. This post writer replicates my style of writing. So it writes viral LinkedIn content exactly in my own style. And for you to understand my own style, I'm going to give you a super extensive content DNA report. A content DNA report which captures everything about how I write, what works, why it works, why my content goes viral. Use that whole report to understand my style of writing and convert that into a 8,000 character prompt, which I can use inside of custom GPTs so that every time I give a topic, it will be able to give me viral LinkedIn content on that topic, replicating my style of writing to the T. Did you understand? Tell me what you understood. Guys, in case you're wondering, I will be sharing all these prompts with you as well. Don't worry about it. So you see this, I said I'm going to give you a content DNA report. You have to convert that into a prompt. And look at this. Yes, I understood. You want me to act like a top tier prompt engineer, singular create powerful custom GPT instruction prompt for the LinkedIn viral post writer. Writes LinkedIn post in the strong viral potential, replicates my style of writing, and I will share the content DNA report. What I will do next is the full content DNA report. Once you share it, I'll convert that into a custom GPT prompt. So where is this? Here comes the content DNA report. I'm going to simply copy this. I'm going to come here and I'm going to say, here is the report. And I'm going to add one more line this time. Make sure the prompt that you write is in Markdown formatting. Something like this. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share the Markdown formatting structure with it. Okay. You know this Markdown formatting structure that we had? I'm just going to copy this, come here and paste the structure as well, right? And then I'm going to share here is the content DNA report, because I want the prompt also to be in Markdown formatting in this format that we learned. Okay. Something like this. And I can also add, feel free to add more headlines or sections as well. You see what I've written? Make sure the prompt that you write is in Markdown formatting, something like this. Feel free to add more headlines or sections as well, because I'm telling AI that I don't want to make sure that it has role, objective, context, and instructions and notes only. If you want to add your own headlines, feel free to add it. And then I say, here's my content DNA report. And we have this content DNA report. I'm going to simply copy this, come here and paste it. That's it, guys. Click on the send button. Now it has all the LinkedIn content that I've written in the past, 10 of them, and also the prompt structure. And look at this. Guys, drop in a heart if you think this is wild. It was able to understand that, went through the whole report, and look at this. It is now writing a prompt. Instruction 1, instruction 2. Look at this. It has the context, it has the objective, it has the role. You can see all the markdown being used in the way that we want. How crazy is this? There are already 8 instructions. What I believe is that it'll end up writing some 20 odd instructions, because the report has 20 instructions inside of it. And it will end up writing the full bloody prompt for us. Guys, if you think this is wild, drop a comment wild in the chat. What you just learned, if you think this is just insanely wild, just drop a wild in the chat. These are the things that the world is not telling you. These are the things that the world is hiding from you. These are the secret nuggets that will change the way you use AI forever. And these are the things that you need to learn how to go about. Right? Now that we got the prompt, you can see this, the prompt is all there. I'm going to teach you a nice little hack today. I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to teach you something very, very cool. And you know what that is? I'm going to make AI work harder. You know what I'm going to say? While I like this, right? I can still say something like this for it to come up with a better prompt. That is, hey, I just went through the prompt. It looks very good. I can rate it 7 out of 10 for sure. But you know what? I gave the same job to Gemini, and the prompt it came up with was a 10 out of 10. So I want you to do a better job. I want you to do a better job than Gemini. I want you to win. So work harder, think harder, go through the report again, understand what you missed, introspect, and come back with a new prompt which is better than chat, better than Gemini. I want you to win. I don't want you to be an average. So there you go. You know what this is? This is basically gaslighting. And you know what? Weirdly enough, it works. Look at this. Fair call. The last version captured the structure, but missed the deeper things that make your writing actually feels like you. What it underweighted, all of this. So here's a much sharper version, and here comes an even more extensive prompt. The moment you said you could have done a better job, it's like, yeah, I know. I just looked up and I think I can do this better with so many of these things. And here it comes. It ends up writing a new prompt all of a sudden. Guys, it really, really works. And you know what? I've taken this inspiration from Larry Page, the founder of Google. He basically, in one of the talks, said, if you threaten AI, it works better. So I gaslight it. And you know what? It does work better. It does work harder. So Larry Page, the founder of Google, cannot be wrong. So I listen to Larry Page and I do this. So guys, you can look at this. It is coming up with a prompt. It can fall into an issue, and I'll tell you what that is. Let's see. How crazy is this? There is no way in hell I can write a prompt like this. No way in hell. But anyways, it has come with a prompt. I can simply copy the prompt right now. It says version 2 ultra optimized version under a stricter character ceiling. Okay, let's see what it does. So I'll go to ChatGPT again. All right. And I'm going to create a new one. Click on create. Come to configure directly this time and just paste the prompt. But you see, I told you there will be a problem. And the problem is GPT instructions cannot be longer than 8,000 characters. So I'm going to just copy this, come back here, and I'm going to say this, fix error. And I'm going to just copy and paste the error. That is, GPT instructions cannot be 8,000 characters or long. When we asked it to think harder, right? It came up with a 15,000 character prompt, which is too long for any tool to understand. So now it is compressing, removing repetition, preserving the parts that actually control output quality, makes it fit inside 8,000 character custom GPT limit. As a result, it's rewriting the whole prompt again to fit into the bucket of 8,000 characters right now. So what am I doing? Whenever there's an error, this is how I go about solving problems, right? Whenever there's an error, I don't break my head. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? What do I do right now? I just copy it and paste it inside the same window that I was using and let AI fix it. So here comes the whole prompt, guys. We are good to go. I can just copy this because it compressed the prompt this time and paste it inside of this. And there you go. Looks like it works absolutely fine this time. Now, I could simply come here and I can start giving a topic. What topic should we give? Topic, let's say AI generalists will win the AI first world. AI generalists or AI orchestrators will win in the AI first world. This is the topic that I want to create a LinkedIn content on. Now, I could go a little specific, not just leave a topic. I can also say something like this, okay? Can you make sure you read a bunch of articles on the internet about this topic where very popular figures in AI have spoken about AI orchestration and AI generalists and how everybody has to be one of these people to win in the AI first world, and include all those anecdotal information here as well. So because all of these AI tools now has access to internet, I can just say, can you make sure you read a bunch of articles on the internet? I gave the topic, I'll click on the send button. This is what you do when you write a LinkedIn content, right? You have to read about it on the internet. Now, That's all I said. I said, pull up the recent commentary and tell me what is happening. Now you can see this. I'll pull through recent commentary from well-known AI leaders and operations. I'll compress that into LinkedIn post in Web of Sesame style. It is reading up a bunch of articles. You can see this. It is searching the internet, reading the internet for like tens of different articles out there. And then once it reads everything, it will then convert that into a LinkedIn post so that it is always accurate. You don't want to say something out which is absolutely not accurate, right? And that is why I just said, go and read about this. So that is what it is doing right now for us. And look at this. It has got a few. Now it is continuing to think, it is continuing to research for us. It is working in a super agentic way. It is reading up more articles and it is finding more information. Once it does everything, it will start writing the LinkedIn post. Now, as it's doing its job here, the same tool that we built right now, I also told you, I will teach you how to do the same thing for free, right? Okay, looks like it thought for 1 minute. And look at this, guys. AI specialists will still matter, but AI generalists and AI orchestrators will win. That's the real career shift nobody wants to say out loud. This is the LinkedIn post it came up with, by the way. In the AI first world, the edge is no longer knowing one thing deeply. The edge is knowing how to use AI multiple tools, combine them in workflows, move across functions, and turn raw model capacity into actual business outcome. Deep research and stuff like that as well, for which I don't have to right now, right? Because it has all the tools that I can select as well, right? I can select which model I want. Let's say I want thinking model right now. And let's just send the same question that we gave it to AI. Okay, here it comes. And I'll send the same prompt. Let's see what it comes up with. You can see this. It has started to use the reasoning model. It is thinking. And look at that. Here comes the LinkedIn post. I'm not even going to read it. What I'm going to say is, hey, I want you to work harder. So what I'm going to say, I'll just copy this, paste it inside, click on the send. I say you didn't follow it, work harder. That's exactly the same thing. I'm gaslighting it. I'm like, you did a good job, but I want you to do a better job than this. I'm acting like that tough Indian father, right? Who's never happy with what you do. So that's what I did. And finally, it came. Being a specialist is officially a career trap. I love that first line. I love that first line. Most people are doubling down on their niche right now, and the smart operators are doing exactly the opposite. We are moving from an era of expert doer to an era of AI orchestrator. And here is why this is a massive shift. For 50 years, the advice wise specialize until it hurts. But today, an AI can specialize better, faster, and for $20 a month. Guys, we've been saying this for the last couple of years. Okay. If you value this, knowing how to code or knowing how to write copy, you aren't an expert anymore. You are a commodity. The reality, execution is now free, direction is now expensive. My goodness. Guys, what do you think? Which one is a better LinkedIn post according to you? I'm very curious to know. Is it, in fact, I'm going to put both of them next to each other. Okay. I'm very curious to know what you guys think. Okay. I'm just splitting the windows. Oh, my bad. Okay. My bad. It just went away the moment I split it. Any which ways, if you remember reading the post, both the places, I'm curious to know which one do you think was better? If you remember ChatGPT's post as well. Now we did the Gemini one. I'm curious to know what you think is better. Oh my god, look at that chat. I completely agree. I think Gemini just killed it. Just killed it, according to me. Absolutely. So yeah, it's a free tool. Gemini Gem is a free tool. And it's a very, very good writer, actually. And you can see the example. It's very good with prompting and all as well. But the reason why I gave you Gemini Gems towards the end is because you need to learn how to write your own prompt. And the real art of building an app like this is having the ability to build your own prompt. Guys, from a scale of 1 to 10, how is the session going on so far today? From a scale of 1 to 10, how is the second session going so far? Are you guys having fun? Are you guys learning a bunch of new things?